This damn opening is so good, Sean, that we had to try it again.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Are we live this time?
Yeah. Yeah, so we went live before, Sean and I pressed the button. Sean and I came up and we were chatting along, having a jolly old good time, as they say in Shrek or something along those lines. And I looked up and we were live. Nothing was going on. I was like, Sean, guess what? And I screwed it up to begin with anyway because I ran the countdown twice. So, yeah. So third
it's
time,
better,
I guess.
It's better to realize that a minute in and the whole show ends. So,
yeah, that would have been even funnier. Yeah, it might have been hey, maybe it's faithful for what's about to happen for us today. But we got a couple things going on today, Sean. We have Major League Baseball, which is a good thing, right? That's continuing to.
Depends on who you are. For me, no, maybe not.
Yeah, I made a stupid mistake yesterday. Every time I kind of like make up my mind on the fly on a game, like that Oakland game that line moved into me, and I wasn't really on that game. And then when I saw it move into me, I took it. And then when it was up 6-0, I was like, wow, good thing I took it. And then I was watching the game, and the pitchers from Oakland just couldn't keep them from off the Kansas City off the bases. I was just like, you know what? They're going to lose. I'm going to go on my account and bet on the Kansas City squad in the middle of the game. And that worked out all right. But otherwise, everything else was okay. But we also have some MLS Soccer today that we'll discuss. And we have the PGA Tour. So we'll talk a little bit about the PGA Tour as well. Found a couple of picks that I like that if you throw there's three players in the PGA that if you put them together, if one of them makes where I have them ranked, then it'll be profitable, even if the other two don't make the cut, so to speak. So let's go ahead and get cracking with baseball, Sean. We'll start with Major League. A couple games going on right now. Did you do anything prior to the show?
In my personal account, I put $20 on a Toronto-Boston parlay, which is working out so far. So
far, so good.
Yeah.
Huh? But you didn't put it on the site, eh?
No.
Sure, we believe you.
No. I just wanted some action. So
sure. Yeah. Save all the good ones for yourself.
Hey,
right?
You said about breaking the rules, and you had to do it 10 times to yourself. What did I do yesterday? I added Houston to that, the 2-team parlay, and what they do, they burn that parlay against the Texas Rangers. I mean, how do you lose that bad to a team like Texas? But
well, you just do it. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh to start them off, Sean. A game was one of your picks yesterday. Are you a glutton, or are you going to go back for some more?
No, I'm going to skip this one, even though I would think, and I mean, minus 135 is good value for the Reds. It's just.
Well, you can get as low as 130.
Yeah, they just have those clunkers of games sometimes. They're kind of like the Astros. They have all this talent, and they lose to some of these teams they shouldn't.
Maybe they play to the level they're playing against. And, they've not been playing very well lately because Pittsburgh actually has the home power ranking advantage over Cincinnati on the road, which when I ran it, I was kind of shocked. I had to go double back to make sure all my numbers were right, but they're all correct. The simulator says Cincinnati wins. It says they win this game probably more than 50% of the time, probably closer to 60% of the time. The implied probability is that they win this game less than that. So you are getting value in the line with Cincinnati. The line has moved away from Cincinnati, which scares me a little bit, more towards Pittsburgh. So money is coming in on the Pirates. So yesterday, the Pirates obviously won that game. Today, 80% of the money is on the Pittsburgh Pirates. 80% of the money is on the Reds. So 18% on Pittsburgh. I feel like Cincinnati is the right bet. Like I said, you're getting value in it. I just don't like the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Chicago Cubs beat your Philadelphia Phillies yesterday. Are they going to make it 2 in a row in Philadelphia?
Possibly, but I don't like the pitching matchup too much here.
Alex Mills is not that bad.
No, he's not. I don't think they're really that great against lefties neither, so that's another thing going against them. I'm going to skip this. This game does make me angry yesterday. I said about the Cubs, and I got to start taking the teams with the value instead of the ones you're more confident. Sure, the Reds should have beat the Pirates more than the Cubs should have beat the Phillies, but there was tons of value there with the Cubs, and they ended up winning. Today, it may be the same thing. I don't feel too confident on it, so I'm not going to take it.
Well, there's a little bit of value still in the Cubs today at minus 175, plus 175, excuse me. That number's only gotten bigger. That suggests the Cubs have about a 36% chance to win. Simulator says they have about a 40% chance to win. And when you look at the power rankings and the run line rankings, it heavily favors the Philadelphia Phillies. When you look at as far as the betting public is concerned, a majority of the people are betting on the Phillies, and even more money is flowing the Phillies' way. Phillies are a team that are difficult to figure out. Sometimes they look great. Sometimes they look horrible. They probably look great against the overmatched, what should be an overmatched Cubs team, but it wasn't last night. I have a hard time believing the Cubs go into Philadelphia and win 2 in a row. If I were going to lean aside in this spot, I'd probably pick the Phillies to win, but I won't bet them at minus 200-ish. It's just too much.
There's a bunch of teams right now that just are struggling to get to the finish line, that are like battling for those playoff spots that they're not going to make it, and they're just struggling to get to the finish line at this point. Mm-hmm. And Phillies are one of them.
Phillies are absolutely one of them. The New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles. John Means is bringing in the line, keeping that line in check against the sluggers from the Bronx. And I feel like the folks might be making a mistake if they're leaning towards Baltimore because they think Baltimore might have the pitching advantage here. That's not true. If you look at the advanced metrics, this one's not even close. Cortez Jr. is a far superior pitcher, at least he has been in his limited time in the major leagues, than Means has been. So for me, I can't take the Yankees at minus 170. I mean, it's really close to my normal number. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put the Yankees in a 2-team parlay that has I might up it to 3 by the end of the show, but at least 2-team parlay where I can get the Yankees and another team I'm pretty confident are going to win and get a plus line.
Okay, yeah, I still can't trust the Yankees the way they're scruffling a little bit here, but I don't think Baltimore's going to win this game, and I wouldn't take Baltimore at plus 155. That's too low. You need a lot more value than that to take Baltimore.
I agree with you. The money is heavily in favor of the Yankees, 85 cents on the dollars. I mean, as it should be on the Yankees, right, for sure. And the Yankees, of course, have a huge run scoring advantage over the Baltimore. They're one of the worst teams in baseball in terms of run differential. And run differential is, from what I've read, from what I've seen, from what I've done, the number one predictor of who's going to win a game, or one of the top predictors. So that prediction says the Yankees win this game. The simulation model says they win this game 2 out of 3 times. I just needed to win this one. That's it. St. Louis, John Lester versus the New York Mets. This pitching matchup looks like it should be a mismatch on paper, but the reality is it's a lot closer than you think.
Yeah, and Lester's starting to pitch really good. So I see the value here again with the Cardinals, and I'm going to take the Cardinals. I see plus 150. I think we're kind of the same type of game yesterday. So
plus 156 is the maximum you can get at Heritage, Sean. So we'll go ahead and do a little bit of line shopping for you. I agree with you that St. Louis is the right bet. They have the power ranking advantage, so I like that. They do not have the run. The Mets own the run differential, that's for sure. But the simulator says that the game is a 50-50 game. It's actually 51-49 in favor of the Mets. It's probably just more of them being at home than St. Louis being on the road. So as far as I'm concerned, when you put all the numbers together and you pull it out, it's 50-50. You're getting the plus line with St. Louis. Pitching matchup is not as much in favor as it might look on paper. It's the right bet, Sean. It's not a bet that I'm going to make because I feel like the Mets are probably win one. Only 23% of the tickets are on the Mets. So most of the bettors agree with you, but most of the money agrees with the Mets. Over 60% of the money is on the Mets.
They're also 17-29 versus left-handed pitching. So Lester's, pitching well lately, and they struggle against lefties. So I like the matchup here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I said, unquestionably, the Cardinals are the right bet in terms of all the numbers.
It made me mad yesterday. I tried to do a live bet at St. Louis plus 185 in the top of the 10th or whatever it was, and the bet never ended up going through. I was like, I missed them earlier in the day. I'll get them here, and they ended up winning, and then I looked, and the bet never went through. So it's always frustrating.
Sucks when that happens. Colorado and Atlanta, Sean. This is the second part of my parlay. So if I put the Yankees and Atlanta together, it's plus 133. This is another pitching mismatch. Yanoa is much better than Santazelia. The Rockies got their one yesterday. I doubt that they go into Atlanta and win 2 in a row. So I'm going to take the Braves, add them to the Yankees, and at least get plus 133. There's a third team I might add later on, but I'm not 100% certain that's what I want to do. But for now, I'm going to go with the Yankees and Atlanta. Anything from you on this game, Sean?
No, I would probably do the same thing. I'm in a parlay, but I don't have anything for that right now. Mm-hmm. But I do think Atlanta is one of those teams you throw in the parlay tonight.
Yeah, 80% of the money is following the team from Atlanta. And if you look at the way the numbers break down, Atlanta has about a 72% chance, according to the simulator, to win. At minus 200, the number's actually gone down a little bit. That's right around minus 200, depending on where you look. That means they got about a 2 out of 3 chance to win. Simulator says about a 70% chance to win. They have a strong run line advantage, one of the strongest on the night, and they have one of the strongest power ranking advantages too. So that's game 2 for me. Cleveland and Minnesota. You tried that series yesterday, Sean. You going to try it again?
No, but I feel like Cleveland's the right play. I just I didn't like it as much as I thought I liked it. Control has had some good games against Minnesota this year, and then it's had some really bad games against Minnesota this year. So that's why I stayed away. Yeah,
neither side of this game is the right play, Sean, because both teams should be they both should be plus lines. What's up, Marco? How you doing today? And you absolutely my brother. So hopefully we can be brothers in winnings today, Marco. That's the big deal right there, right? So looking at the game here, Sean, as far as the matchup is concerned, there is no right bet in this game. The Cleveland squad has a slight disadvantage both on run line, power line, but it's 50-50 across the board. One of the two teams needs to be a plus line for me to take an advantage. And if I were going to go on either side, I would take the Minnesota side, but I'm not going to go.
I think Cleveland just has the advantage in the starting pitching. So if it comes down to that, I would take Cleveland here. And I think Cleveland's the better team. It's just
you can't take a negative run line on a 50-50 money line on a 50-50 game. You can't. You have to have value, and there's no value. You're actually overpaying for both sides of that table. And for me, I'm not into overpaying for anything. I'm cheap. Houston and Texas. Sean, you going to add this one to your parlay again, or are you going to
absolutely
run away?
Not? It's way too fresh of a wound. I am staying away from Houston.
Away from Houston.
They should win this game.
They'll win this game.
Yeah, they should. But we've said that a lot about Houston, and then they don't. So
the problem is they play to their opponent, unfortunately. But Houston has just dominant numbers against Texas. I doubt Texas wins 2 in a row against Houston squad, but they could because they burned so many parlays. I am not in on the Houston play either. Although when you look at as far as the money is concerned, most people are not afraid of this game, Sean, because the great majority of the money is on the Astros, although there's less money on the Astros than there are bets. So there are some people looking for the Texans to make it 2 wins in a row and try to cash that plus 188 ticket at some books.
I will say people are never afraid of betting the Astros. They just get burned with them all the time.
Well, you can't be. They're a good team. I think they probably make – I would guess if you bet them every game this season, you'd probably have a little bit of a profit. Angels and White Sox. That was a game where a lot of runs were scored yesterday, Sean. And I feel like it's a game where a lot of runs could be scored again today because, my favorite pitcher in all of baseball, Dallas Keuchel, is on the mound. The majority of the public tickets are on the Angels, actually. But a big-time percentage of the money is on the White Sox. So smart money says play the White Sox, minus 220, around minus 200. It's about right. I can't take it.
Yeah, I can't take it neither because I would expect Keuchel to give up some runs here. And you never know once you start giving up runs there. So they're overvalued here probably. They should win, but I wouldn't take minus 220 with them. And the Angels do all right against lefties. They're 25-22. So
if you feel like there's going to be runs scored in this game, Sean, you can go over 9.5. So the total is 9, right? But they have 9.5 as another run line. You can go over 9.5 and get plus 105. I feel like there'll be more than 9 runs in this game.
I feel like that, but I had the under in this game yesterday, and that did not work out well with me. So
yeah, like I said, over. I didn't say under, Sean. I said over.
No, I know, but it's one of those when you don't expect the runs, you get them, and then now I switch it, and it will be the other way around. It's just hard to trust the Angels' offense on the road too.
And it's a little cool in Chicago today too, so I suspect the ball won't carry as much as usual. Oakland burned me yesterday. They got out to a 6-run lead and then choked it up.
Yeah, I was giving up a run and a half, and I probably didn't check. I should have checked out the cash out option and just take the money and run. Kansas City here, I really like them. Carlos Hernandez going. They do well against left-handed pitching, and you're getting at least
plus
plus
119.
Plus 119. Yeah, I like Kansas City here.
No chance for me on this game, Sean. I'm going to stay away. But 73% of the money is on the on the A's, and about 60% of the tickets are on the A's. So most folks are on the side of the Oakland squad. Go ahead.
And Oakland always does better against left-handed pitching than right-handed too. And with Carlos Hernandez pitching really good lately, I will say Sean Manaea has been pitching good too. But Kansas City's, he's due to have a bad game here. So,
well, Kansas City does have the home field advantage over Oakland. They have they do better at home than Oakland does on the road. That's for sure. But Oakland, as bad as they're weird as their offense, their offense is weird. I think scores more runs on the road than Kansas City does at home. It's a 50-50 game again. Well, it's probably 55-45 in favor of Oakland. You're getting about the right odds, Sean, for Kansas City here. So you're really not getting a lot of value at plus 119. Maybe a couple pennies worth of value, but you're still on the right side of the bet here. San Diego and San Francisco. If San Diego is going to win a game, this is the one they're going to win, Sean.
No, they're not going to win, and I'll take this great value of minus 110 again with the Giants team that's been on fire, and the Padres have been the opposite. The Padres lost 6 of their last 7. In those 7, they've been shut out twice, and they've scored 1 run, which were the first 2 games of the series.
So you have the regression, Sean. They're going to score runs at some point.
Well, they might, but the Giants have what's the exact? They've won like 8 in a row, 9 in a row, and they've scored at least 6 runs in all of them. Mm-hmm. I think they score 6 runs again tonight, and the Padres aren't going over that.
They're not going to score 6 runs tonight. I think there's a game tonight. If you're going to take San Diego, tonight's the night. So Sean's going to go with San Francisco at minus 105 is the best number he can get.
Marco's on the Padres too. We've actually discussed this.
Marco's on the Padres?
Yeah, he likes the Padres. He feels the Padres today.
Yeah, I just feel like you're probably right on that, Marco. I think that the Padres, if they're going to win a game, tonight is the night they're going to do it, although the betting public is against us both in this spot. But you're getting the better pitcher in Musgrove tonight. So I feel like you're going to get a shot tonight to win. Arizona and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Sean, this is my dilemma. The pitching matchup here is not as significantly it's not as significantly advantageous to the Dodgers as one might think. I feel like yesterday they won kind of easily, but I feel like they kind of did what they had to do to win yesterday. I get the sense that they might be vulnerable tonight. And I don't know why, but I'm thinking if I add the Dodgers to my parlay, it's plus 133 with the Yankees and the Braves. Mm-hmm. If I add the Dodgers to it, it goes to plus 200. Is it worth it?
I would add the Dodgers. Julio Arias, he always wins. He's what, like 17-4 now?
Yeah, he always wins, but that pitching matchup is not that. I mean, Kelly is not that far behind.
Nah.
I know their teams are much different.
I feel like if you get the Yankees and Braves, the Dodgers will come through. The Dodgers won't be the team that will make you lose that parlay.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take Sean's advice against my better judgment. Now you know. I mean, for those of you who thought I was crazy, now you know I am nuts. I listened to Sean. All right. So I'm going to add the Dodgers in. So here's what I'm going to do, Sean. I got a better idea. Instead of doing $20, I'm going to do $10 just straight on the Yankees and the Braves for plus 133. And then I'm going to put $10 on the Yankees, the Braves, and the Dodgers for plus 200. That way, if the Dodgers don't show up for me, I do all right. And they still have some money. Anything that you're going to do with this game other than pass on it?
No, I'll probably add it to one of my parlays later, but I don't have anything here. It was hard to actually find another game. I mean, I like your Braves pick, but I think even if you combine the Dodgers and the Braves, you still get a negative line, so that's tough. So,
well, if you put the Dodgers and the Braves together, Yankees are going to win tonight. I don't have any doubt about that. I'm actually more confident in the Yankees than I am in Atlanta, but I probably just put the kiss of death on the Yankees.
That line scares me a little bit, though.
That's because people are overvaluing the pitching matchup. They think they're getting the better pitcher with means. They're not.
Yeah, and just the fact that the Yankees are struggling so bad.
Cortez will do just fine tonight. As far as the MLS is concerned, Sean is another one where I don't like any one individual team by itself. I like some teams together. So what I'm going to put together is the DC United squad. And they are, if you played them straight up by themselves, they're minus 137. Of course, there's the draw plus 305. You might want to think about that. And then I also like the Orlando squad from Orlando is facing up against, where are they on this list here today? Against Montreal Impact. If you play Orlando City by themselves, they're minus 147. I really don't like to play MLS plays, Sean, individually if they're negative lines because of the potential for a tie. I feel like you got to get paid. So I'm going to put $15 on a parlay for the DC United versus and Orlando, and that combines for a total of plus 188. Okay. All right. Anything for you from soccer?
No, but I probably should run and bet both of them on to. What's the other game to tie?
The other game to tie is plus 290.
Yeah, so
you should do a two-way tie for a parlay. You may make a killing.
Yeah, or I'd just put $10 on both, and you're coming out ahead if one of them ties.
Yeah, maybe one of them does tie. It wouldn't be surprising. But both games are the only ones that qualified where the potential outcomes, the two highest potential outcomes, are higher than the highest potential tie outcome in terms of percentages. And that's one of the things that I look for. So probably one of them ties, but that's why I put them together in a parlay too, because I can't do either one of them negative run line. Finally, a negative money line because they're not playing baseball. Finally, today, PGA Golf, Sean, I don't have any picks per se for the show, but what I will say is over on Moneyline Madmen, I put in 3 players that have played very well at this course in Napa, California. All of them, the lowest odds in any one of them is plus 230. So if all 3 of them, and they're all just to make the top 40. So if one of the 3 makes the top 40 and the other 2 don't, they miss the cut or they don't make the top 40, it's still profitable. I also put in weights for each player. So if you look at those weights, that's called Dutch betting. That's the maximum amount. That's the odds, the way you balance them to get the maximum output if one of them makes it into a winning bet. So for example, if it was 30, 30, 40, if you played $100 as your unit, $30 will go on golf for A, $30 will go on golf for B, and $40 will go on golf for C. And if one of the 3 of them hits the board, you end up with the maximum profit. And if all 3 hit the board, of course, you make a lot of money too. So that's what we're hoping for. If you go over to Moneyline Madman as well, you'll see that we have, I put the fantasy golf rankings there. So I'll be updating my fantasy football rankings for the weekend. Couldn't get it to go last week because Excel was bleeping with me. And so I kicked its ass, and now it's in line and should be able to get these fantasy rankings up for football. And then, of course, tomorrow before our show, we have college football. We have pro football. I'll be putting up week 2's power rankings. As I mentioned in week 1's power rankings, if you follow the simple system, went 10-6. If you can be 4 games above 500 every week in the NFL, at the end of the year, you're going to be smiling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm not to say that that's going to happen every week. There'll be good weeks. There'll be bad weeks. Worked out to the good one. Thank you. We appreciate the kind words, Marco. You have a great day and a good week. Sean, we're done here. Anything you want to say before we roll?
No, you brought up football. I see some college underdogs that have great value this weekend. I'm actually shocked by the line, so I'll definitely have those.
Yeah, I'm not into college football. I hate it.
Well, you know what?
It's killing me.
You know, I placed those 7 bets that I had yesterday with baseball, and I said, you know, my luck's been doing good. Now I'm getting frisky with baseball again. That's probably not a good idea, and it wasn't a good idea. So limited my plays to 3 today. I like them.
Sean and Frisky, they probably never would.
Yeah, that was the wrong word. But
Frisky Sean.
Yeah, it did not.
I think we're going to change your nickname now. It's not going to be Swiss Army Sean anymore. It's going to be Frisky Sean.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, folks. Till we get back. Tomorrow, tomorrow, Sean and I will be on the Horse Racing Radar, who's our sponsor, that makes all of this opportunity for us available, keeps our lights on, so to speak. We also want to thank Bryant for joining over at Moneyline Madman, John for becoming a registered member. We appreciate that. Everybody go over there, register, share your picks with us. Again, you'll have to register to see my 3 golf picks, but it's going to be well worth it in time. We're bringing some new guests that we should have on the show shortly. Make sure you head over to Moneyline Madman. Follow us on Twitter or Facebook at Moneyline Madman. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell your friends about us. All of that good stuff. And then make sure you head over to Horse Racing Radar and check out all their good stuff as well. Tomorrow night, Sean and I will be part of the Players Edge podcast. We'll be making our picks for the biggest races at Belmont this Saturday.
Yeah, and then they have free contests on the weekend too that, you know, it's free to enter if you win, and you have more money to bet on sports too.
To follow Sean's college football picks only.
Only, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Until we see you tomorrow, 23 and 30. As always, folks, we hope that all of your bets are winners.